Okay, here's the recording starting chapter 7 called Equations and Inequalities. So this is made as an extra way for you to really understand what's going on so that you are successful. The essential question is, what does it mean to say two quantities are equal? And a real world problem underneath is King Ranch in Kingsville, Texas is one of the largest ranches in the world. Its area is greater than the area of Rhode Island. The area of Rhode Island is 1,212 square miles. Circle the statement that represents the area A in King Ranch. So it is greater than. So what you have to do, you have to look at which choice shows greater than. And you see here, this is A, this is a less than sign, so it's not that. This is A is greater than 1,212, okay? And A is less than or equal to 1,212. So you must know your signs, whether it's greater than or less than. You must be clear. One way you can remember a greater than sign, this is greater than, it's pointing to the smaller number. So whatever number A is, it's going to be bigger than 1,212. So that is what we will be learning in this unit. On the next page, you will note different vocabulary. Make sure we have a project that's coming up also where you will be using vocabulary words. So we're going on to page 499. And there's a video for that one, so I'm going to skip this page. And quick review, we're not going to go through the quick review. And we're going to go on and start the unit. Now, lesson one, equations and inequalities. I will make it a little larger so that you're able to see it. Recall that an equation is a sentence stating that two quantities are equal. That's an equation. Two quantities are equal. Equation often contains variables or unknown values. Label the part of the equation below with the terms equation and variable. Okay, so let's look at it. This lesson is pretty straightforward. If you just pay close attention, it may be very easy for you. So the x is the variable. So I'm just going to type V for variable. You can write it out. And the whole thing, the 3x plus 5 equals 17 is the equation. I'm just going to write E for equation, but I want you to fill it in your textbook. The value of a variable that makes an equation true is called the solution of the equation. Circle the equation that is true. Now, it should be paused for you to go ahead and circle what is true. So, pause the recording. Okay, now let's look at it. Is 6, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 5. It's 6 plus 5, 17. No, so that one is not true. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 5, is that true? No, it's not true. What about 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 5, yes. Identifying the solution to the equation 3x plus 5 is 17. So that is the one true one right here. Here we have equivalent equations have the same solution. Circle the equations that are equivalent to 3x plus 5 equals 17. So one of these equations will be equivalent to. So what did we find out x is? We noticed in this x was 4. Okay, so you know x is 4. 3x plus 12. If you would put 4, it's 3 times 4 is 12, so that's equal. You put 4 plus 1 is 6, so that's not equal. Okay? So it's saying here in number 3 that x is equal to 4, so that's true. 3 times 4, with the 4 being x, is 12, so that's true. So the one that's not circled is this one. Number 4, real world link. Real world link, Robin has some video games. And then she bought 4 more games. Now she has 10 games. This scenario can be described using the equation x plus 4 equals 10. So you decide, what does x represent in the equation? Yes, x represents the number of games. So you write that in your box. Circle the solution to the equation. So in your book, what should you circle? Yes, you circle 6 as the solution for the equation. So we're going to go on to the next page. So we're just doing this unit here. Okay. So the top of the page, we see example. I'm not going to read the example to you. I will allow you to read the example, but I will explain. Determine 4, 5, or 6 is the solution to the equation. So what they did was they substituted in 4 and see if it made the equation true, and it didn't. They substituted in 5 to see if it made the equation true, and it did not. And they substituted 6, and it did, because 2 times 6 is 12 plus 5 is 17. And example 2. This is the examples that we have to go by before we do the problems. This is the decimal. Determine if 2.4, 2.7, or 3.6 is the solution. So you have to understand how to work the problem. So you first have to divide 2.4 by 3 first, okay, to get 0.8. If you need help doing that, I will show you step by step. Then you would divide. I'll just go ahead and show you one of them now in case you've forgotten how to divide by decimal. The second one, if you divide 3 into 2.7, so when you divide, you have to bring the decimal straight up and divide 3 into 27, and that is 9. You have to put the 9 underneath the above the 7, because you divided it into 27, not into 2. If you divided 3 into 2, you would have a 0 there. So, but it's 3 into 9 is 27, and 3 times 9 is 27, so there's no remainder. Once you get that, you know it's 0.9 minus 1.4. So now you'd have to subtract, and you would get 0.05. So when you subtract that, it's a negative, because 1.4 is larger than 0.9. So since that's a negative and it's larger, it's minus 0.05, and that means it is true. This was the true one. And of course, the next one was false, because negative 0.2 does not equal to zero point 0.5. Now, under A and B, under the got it, do these problems to find out. So in A, determine if 2, 3, or 4 is the solution for the equation. So I'll give you a moment to do that, then I will show the answers on the screen. So you have on the screen that the solution for A was 3, because if you multiply 3 times 2 is 6 minus 7 gives you 11. So that was the solution. And for B, the solution was 1.8. So when you plugged in 1.8 plus a negative 0.4, you get 0.5. Now I will do this step by step. If you need it, send me a message to Edmodo or ask me during class. We're going to move on to the next page. Now we're example at the top. We're talking about determine the solutions of two-step inequalities. We are on now page 505. Now it says determine solutions to two-step inequalities. We're still within the same lessons. If you have questions, let me know. And inequality is another vocabulary word. Make sure you understand that. Is a mathematical sentence that compares quantities using less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. The table below gives some examples of the words you may use to describe different inequalities. So you see the symbol, when it's pointed toward the left, it is less than or fewer than. Then it's pointing toward the right, it's greater than or more than, and so on and so forth. So let's look at example 3. Example 3, it says determine if -4, -5, or -6 are solutions to the problem. So this one has been done for you. So if you plugged in -4 and you have, this is subtraction, that means that 2 is a negative. So a -4, because the subtraction sign, if you change the sign, -4 times a -2 will give you what? Positive, positive 8. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8. So it'll be a positive 8, and 7, okay, will give you what? 15. You see here it showed it step by step. So this was a yes. So you can look at step by step when -5 was put in and when -6. In example 4, and I do have this tutor on video that will show you step by step about it. Determine if 15, 24, or 27 is the solution. So you see how it's been worked. It's gone step by step. And you see here that 27 is a solution because 3 will go into 27 9 times. See where I'm pointing? And then 5 minus 9. Remember, the subtraction in front of the 9 makes that a negative number, if you want to look at it that way. Or you can add a line, change the sign, change the operation to add a negative. That will give you a -4 because you have to subtract because it's different signs. Different signs subtract. If you get a little confused, then let me know. So you know -4 is less than -2. Think of it this way. Would you rather owe someone $4? You're going to owe -4. It's further away. No, it's further away from 0. The farther away the number is from 0, the smaller it is. So -4 is smaller than -2. So both 24 and 27 are both solutions to the inequality. Now I'll give you a moment to do C and D on your own for a solution. Okay, how did you do? So if you said C is -72, they looked at each one of them, worked through it, and only -72 is a solution. So if you put -72 divided by 12 plus a -8, it is true, it is indeed -113. If you did not get that and you need me to work it, I will do it during class or I will send you a tutorial if you're confused. And D, the solution is 4 and 6. If you had trouble, let me know. I will do it in class on Edmodo. So now we're up to our homework assignments. Okay, so here, okay, so here we have guided practice. Okay, and one more example here. It's saying in this last example, Alicia spends $15.50 each week to buy lunch at school. and a pack of gum. If lunch at school is $3.50 and the pack of gum is $1.50, determine the solution to the equation. This is the equation where X represents the number of lunches. So it gave you a guess and check. So try 2, and that doesn't equal. It says try 3, that didn't work, and then try 4, and it worked. So through the strategy of guess and check, be it 1550 equals 1550. So in the guided practice, if you notice, I did have the answers up a few minutes ago, but you need to go ahead and show your work. If you look back and rewind the video and find the answers, but you need to show how you got it. Show the steps to get that. So the guided practice is just determine if these are a solution, okay? So just show your work in putting in -10 and show what the answer would have been. Put in -12 and show what the answer would have been. And -16. I will do these during class. Each one if you need have questions. So for your homework, you will do numbers 1 through 5, or say for your class work. If you don't finish it in class, it's homework. But it's not for you to put away and say all of this is homework. So we're going to look at the next page. Determine solution for each equation from the list. So you have to do trial and error, write down and determine which one works for numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Number 9, the word problems, solve using guess and check. Okay, so you can determine what number you want to put in for G. Okay, so you want it to be 20. So if you put 1 in for G, say, and 2 times 1 is 2, plus 14, that's only going to give you what? 16, but you want 20. So you know that's not right. You may not have to guess and check too much. So also do all of that page. This concludes your lesson for today. I will help you in class. I will do any samples you need on the board for you to do, or I will give you a video tutorial.